I've been attending Roots and Roofs religiously, you could say.
We are currently at United Church of Christ East Goshen, right outside of Westchester on North Chester Road. I'm the president of the church council here. So we're very excited that we've begun this fairly new, different kind of service on Saturdays.
I love the Sunday service, but this service is just really special.
It's a breath of fresh air. I like the fact that worship can be provocative and unconventional.
When we think about it, we were trying to look at what we were creating through the lens of people who may have been hurt by the church, the unchurched,
Maybe previously non-church people.
maybe even those who had gone to church and then pulled away for some reason, and making it something different, so you're not just sitting in a pew and singing hymns and reciting scriptures and listening to a sermon. Although we have those elements in it, as we've been planning, we want to do a series so we can build each week on something that we're doing. So we come up with themes and we worked toward what we have today as this different way to worship, Roots and Roofs.
When we first started this, I thought it was just going to be about music, but it's not. It's so much more than that. There's music that's a portion of it, but there's just so many facets to the whole thing.
Rather than planning a service around the liturgy and the order of the liturgy, we planned it around themes and used the Bible passages that are appropriate for those themes. So it's kind of a different way of doing that.
It does then start leading into the current environment, the current social issues and social justices, that regardless of what we think we're planning, it all kind of turns back around to that, because what we're trying to do is not be your traditional Sunday morning church.
So this service is, to me, like a bunch of friends getting together for a spiritual hour.
And what makes it even more different is that we have activities, intergenerational activities, throughout the service.
We do what is called the Messy Church, which I had not heard about before, but our friend Lucy, usually for 10 or 15 minutes of every service, has some crafty thing or some fun kind of doing thing that we can do that is in line with the theme of the service. For example, one of our Messy Church things, we had a theme of going along with Noah and the covenant. From the scripture, as we read, we realized that it was a rainbow mentioned in the scripture, and we thought, let's kind of get together something we can do with the colors of the rainbow. So we came up with these ribbons and bells of different colors and dedicated each of those 7 services for a different color. That's part of the covenant.
One of the things that we've talked about is we are going to let people know that we're Christians, but we're going to claim it and explain it.
We wanted to be conscious of the language that we use in the service so that it would be meaningful to everyone coming in. And so there's a little bit more of an explanation sometimes of why we do certain things in the service, which you probably wouldn't always get in the regular service.
So for the people who don't understand it and wonder why we're doing what we do, that's why we do things in a different way.
Kind of informal in that way, to be very open and welcoming, and to try to help people understand a little bit about what we are really worshiping.
The fact that we can focus on one topic for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks at a time, and examine one idea from a variety of angles. It's like when you're looking at a statue in a museum, it's so much better to walk around it than it is to just stand and look at one aspect.
Fortunately, we each seem to bring a different gift. And where one person is wonderful, like Charity, with the music, you know, somebody else is really good with the creative ideas for the actual, that's the other thing I want to mention, the environment of the room itself.
This service is more relaxed, it's more intimate.
I like the idea of using images in the worship service, putting my hands on things that become part of devotional practices. things that help me feel certainly the Spirit of God, but also the spirit of this community. I like the fact that an atmosphere of kinship is growing.
We're continually growing and changing and finding out where else we need to be or what else we need to be.
Don't you think she should play one more chorus? Yeah, let's do it.
Different ones of us will be doing different parts of the service, so that's a difference there where you don't have necessarily a minister who's running the entire service.
It has been a wonderful journey. We've learned a lot. I won't say mistakes. We've made successful discoveries on what we do and what we shouldn't do, and we're always trying to attract people who need us and we need them.
There's scripture, there's speakers, there's coffee, there's refreshments, there's camaraderie and friendship and a chance to talk, and it's just a very spiritual, wonderful service, which I absolutely love and I look forward to.